Esketit just lost one of its key loan originators, Avafin, which repurchased 15 million euro in loans. Some investor accounts were abruptly closed, Trustpilot ratings are dropping, and a lot of you are asking the same thing. What's going on, and should I still invest in Esketit in 2025? In this video, I will break down what's happening, what it means for your money, and whether Esketit still deserves a spot in your portfolio. You will also get my personal take and portfolio exposure. So let's dive in. A few weeks ago, Avafin, Esketit's largest lending partner, decided to exit P2P funding altogether. They repurchased their entire loan portfolio on Esketit, totaling 15 million euro. This caused a noticeable drop in the platform's outstanding portfolio, which fell from 52 million to 46 million euro, levels we saw last in early 2025. Around the same time, Esketit also terminated several investor accounts, mainly from Ireland, citing changes in their internal risk policy. The problem was the way it was handled. Communication was vague, and while affected investors were promised payouts within 10 days, some are still waiting. The CEO admitted to a backlog which they aim to clear by mid-July. Now, less than 1% of users were impacted, but the damage to investor trust was bigger. This reflected in declining Trustpilot ratings and increased community concerns. With Avafin gone, let's look at where your money is actually going. Here's a snapshot of the current loan portfolio. 31% of the portfolio is direct exposure to the Jordanian lender Money for Specialized Finance. Another 24% is invested indirectly into the Jordanian lender via GMD investments. So in total, 55% of Esketit's portfolio is tied to Jordan. The Jordanian lender recently shared audited financials for 2024. The business is profitable with a debt to ratio of 2.04, which is reasonable leverage for a lending company. It's more conservative than some European lenders, but let's not ignore the geopolitical risk in the Middle East. So far, regional conflicts have not affected loan repayments, however, we have no guarantee about whether this could change in the future. To fill the liquidity gap by Avafin, Esketit introduced higher loan volumes from a relatively new lender, Spanda Capital. Spanda is a Spanish asset manager that specializes in non-performing loan portfolios. In simple terms, they buy defaulted loans at a discount and try to recover as much as they can. In 2024, they invested 6.4 million across 31 portfolios. So far, they have recovered 1.5 million and distributed 360,000 in interest to investors. For 2025, their recovery goal is 3.3 million. The catch? Well, Spanda has not published any audited reports yet. It's a promising new player, but still unproven, with a limited track record. Let's now talk about the two smaller lenders currently active on the platform, Mojo Capital and Credus Capital. Credus offers a 7% return, mainly through mortgage-backed loans. Mojo, on the other hand, promises a high yield at 12% while investing in fintech companies. Both lenders come with a buyback guarantee, but transparency is limited. In Mojo's case, I would say it's non-existent, as there are no financial reports available. Now, looking at the current interest rates on Esketit, loans from the Jordanian lender yield around 10% with short durations. Spanda Capital also offers 10% but with a 24-month term. Credus pays 7% and Mojo offers 12%, though again with no published financials. Esketit still provides buyback guarantees across the board, but when it comes to diversification, your choices are quite limited. And with just one audited lending company currently on the platform, the overall investment proposition is clearly less attractive than it was a year ago. If you've been following my portfolio updates, you know my exposure to Esketit is under 7% when it comes to P2P lending, or around 1.5% of my total portfolio. Most of my funds there are reinvested interest from previous years. So even in the worst case scenario, I wouldn't lose much of my initial capital. I used a diversified auto-purchase strategy, which currently yields 9.46% and gives me access to fast liquidity, usually within a few hours. That's one of Esketit's best features and, in my opinion, far better than platforms like Monefit Smart Saver or Bondora's Go and Grow. That said, the diversified strategy definitely needs a refresh. The current setup still reflects the old portfolio structure before Avafin left. So the big question is Esketit still worth it in 2025? Well, here's my take. The Jordanian lender remains strong, but regional risk is something we cannot ignore. Spanda Capital looks promising, but it's new and without any audited reports. Diversification on the platform is pretty limited right now, and when it comes to communication, well, let's just say it's taken a step back. The way those recent account closures were handled did not inspire much confidence. Interest rates are stable, but don't expect them to go up. Investor demand is still high, so there is not much pressure on the lender to offer more. If Esketit wants to stay competitive, they will have to keep adding quality loan originators, improve transparency, and most importantly, be more open with investors. Esketit says they are actively looking to onboard new loan originators, but they want to take their time and choose only high-quality partners. And honestly, I respect that. It's easy to add low-quality loan supply just to fill the gap, but they're clearly aiming for long-term sustainability. As for me, I'm holding my position for now, but I'm staying cautious. Just remember, you're not locked in. If things change or your risk tolerance shifts, you can always reduce your exposure or explore other platforms. As always, don't just take my word for it. Think about your goals, your strategy, and make sure your investments match your comfort level. If you have found this update helpful, hit the like button and subscribe, and check out the full Esketit review on P2P Empire, or even better, bookmark our news section or sign up for a newsletter so you don't miss the next update. Thanks for watching, and I'll get you in the next one.